Hello, YouTube viewers. Hello to my Facebook viewers, and hello to my Instagram viewers. Hello to everyone across the world who's watching this video or this video has been shared with. Hello to everyone. Normally I'd be saying good morning, but I can do it. So good morning to everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning to all those people who are living overseas and it's daytime for you because we know that we have those viewers on this channel. We have a group that is out of Pakistan, and they follow every day. They watch the videos every day. So thank you to everyone in Pakistan. We are all in this together, so we're happy to have you with us. And I can't wait to get some of the topics that you would like to hear. There is one topic that you have put forth, and we're gonna play that topic. But that topic will probably be like I'd say around Thursday. We're gonna do that topic. Um, but today, normally, as I said, I do a morning show. But I had did this recording. I had already recorded it. There were a few that I recorded, and I'm just gonna do them completely over because I think that instead of waiting for this one to come out on Tuesday, I'm going to put this one out today, and I'm not going to put it under morning motivation. This one is just basically going to be titled for what it is, Mother's Greatest Regret. And this story is based on a true story. The story is about, well, before I get to the story, the reason why this story is means a lot to anyone who's watching this, because it's something that we all would never encounter or never expect to encounter. And from a simple thing that had nothing you know devious behind it, spiraled out of control. And I, with the election coming up, I found that this story is fitting. It because like I said before, all situations are different, but the emotions and what we go through are the same. It does not matter, unless we're aliens, then it wouldn't affect us in that way, but it affects us in that way. So I'm going to give you the story, and I'm going to give you how this story applies to today, okay? So the story is a mother's greatest regret. And this story is about two sisters. I'm not going to say names, so, I'm giving you all the information. You can look this up for yourself. Um, but it's about these two sisters, and they live in Hot Springs, Arkansas. And this happened on July 31st, 2019. So this happened only, a year ago that this had happened, or less than a year ago that this had happened. But it's really, really sad because it shows how things can spiral out of control. So that's why, we do morning motivation to make us aware of, the warning signs, things to look out for. Well, one of the sisters, she was dating a guy, and the guy that she was dating, the ex-girlfriend knew the new girlfriend. She knew who she was, knew her from whether the area, the neighborhood, but they knew one another kind of. So the the ex-girlfriend was constantly like harassing this girl, instead of going to the boyfriend and being like, why are you doing this or whatever, even though it should not be like that. It should not be like that. Let me take that back, and I'm not going to edit it because it's okay to think in a way, but then you pull yourself back. So now you saw exactly how that subconscious works. That subconscious like, wait, pull that back. No one should, if a relationship is over, it's over. There's nothing that we can do. And it's not about the relationship. It's about the interaction that took place that led to something really bad. Well, the girl, the ex-girlfriend, waited one day, which was July 30th. She waited for the girl to leave the boyfriend's house. And when the girl went to her car, the girl followed her and literally beat this girl bad. She beat her so bad that she busted the girl's head open. So now, a parent, is a parent, and in this case, it's the mother. So we're assuming from everything that I've read, everything I've researched, because I even went outside the story. Anyone that knows that have been working on this, I went deep for this because there's a lot to this story. The girl goes home. So, the sister's like, what happened? Who did this? And, she's like, oh, the ex-girlfriend. So the mother, she finds out and she's like, well, tomorrow we're gonna go down. I'm gonna bring you down. You're my child, and I'm gonna tell this girl that, if there's something wrong, or if my daughter's done something wrong to you, to let me know. I'll handle it. But if you put your hands on her again, I will go to the police. Now, this is what the mother is from my understanding, not to say it's fact, but from my understanding, from what I read, that scenario went in this way that I'm explaining it. So the mother, the daughter, and her sister, they go down to this place of work where this girl worked. And when they went in to confront the girl, thinking that, everything is going to be okay, she's on a job, she's not going to do anything, stupid, and, we're just going to, get this ended. I'm going to tell them I'll call the police next time, stay away from my daughter, and then we leave. It didn't go out like that. It didn't finish like that. What ended up happening was the girl, as soon as she saw the girl, she attacked her with the mother and the sister. So it was a brawl. It was they were all fighting in there. The ex-girlfriend, the two sisters, and so the girl, she's losing at this point. Now she's getting a taste of her own medicine of how it feels to have somebody jump you, who's defenseless. Now she's got to defend herself against 2, maybe 3 people. So she's not a fair person. What she does is she runs, she reaches into her bag, she grabs a gun, she shoots the daughter, the girlfriend, and the ex-boyfriend, and she shoots the sister, both in the head. Then she's trying to shoot the mother, but the mother has to run. So now, we end this story there because that's a short story, but it's the repercussions that came from it is why I want to explain this to everyone. The mother leaves in the car. So now, they arrest the girl. They arrest the girl. Excuse me, I got papers flying. But they arrest the girl, and they don't know whether or not to press charges on her. So think about that. So in my view, that was a legal gun that this person was carrying, and she was so fast to use it. Let that be a red flag to everyone. That gun wasn't an illegal gun. She had a permit to carry that gun, even though she knew she was doing some bad stuff, to the girlfriend of her ex-boyfriend. So, what ends up happening with social media, once this story came out, they sent threats to this mother. How could you leave your daughters? Oh, you brought them there, to go and fight. And, when things went south, you left them, literally bad stuff to the mother. On all different levels, and we know how social media can be a bully. So, they really painted a bad picture of this woman. But this woman had no intentions of going into that the place of work to start trouble. We know as parents, we've handled it this way in the past. Like if one of my children came in and they had a dispute, we normally grab our child and we bring them to the parent to say, look, this ain't gonna happen no more. And if it's someone at that age of 20 or so odd years, we'd still go to the parent. But for whatever reason, maybe there wasn't a parent available, that she decided to go to the girl, to say, hey, we're going to call the police on you next time. But I think about this and I say, to not lose one daughter, but to lose both of your daughters, and then to have people threatening you and talking badly about you and don't understand the situation. We do that all too fast, and we do it all too well. And that's why I had to research this story, because when I first saw the story, I said the same thing. So, we're not immune to it, because, like, again, in the past video, I explained how the media will only tell you what they want the narrative to be, even though they know that they can, tell the truth and would look at it in a different way. So be careful of what you're watching on that news, and be careful of how much you react to without looking into the situation. So what I learned from this, and what I want to share with you, and what we can learn together, is the warning signs. The warning signs was that there was an ongoing dispute between these girls, and the mother may have not known about it until that moment, but the sister knew. The sister knew about what was going on with the bullying and everything else going on with the and the harassment going on with their sister. So those were warning signs that they knew, and the fact that the sisters had went to that place of work before they went home and got the mother. So now we have to say to ourselves, did they expect for the mother to go there and handle things in a different way? And that's where, I kind of give a little leeway to those who say, she knew. She was one of those drama chicks who, the whole family like drama. So, what I'm saying, they went and got their mom, and, it was going to be an all-out brawl. But I don't see it this way. I see it that, that these girls had went there, and, when the sister saw that the other sister, couldn't get matters squashed, that's when they went and they got the mother. Because maybe the girl said, when you ain't with your sister, or when I catch you by yourself, this is what I'll do. We'll never know. The only thing we know is the outcome. So we know that wasn't the first time that the girl had been approached, and that was a warning sign. So, we encourage our children to stand up for themselves, don't allow people to bully them, and to take life's challenges head on. That's a good way to be, because that worked for us who are older. And what I'm saying from this video is that it's a different world now. It's a different world from where we grew up. And, keep that in mind with, how we approach confrontation or anything where it comes to interaction that could be questionable, even the simplest interaction, which this was. In a sense, it was a simple interaction, because they expected a different outcome than what happened. They didn't expect for something like that to happen. So, and then number two, knowing that this was an ongoing dispute, the police was never called. The police were never called. And again, it goes back to what I just said. We live in a different world. We live in a different time, and we live in a different age. And one of the things I know about today, about the violence of today, is compared to when in my day, there's a lot of people that are out here, doing these violent acts out of fear. Just straight fear. Again, that gun was registered. But that's not just the only case. What about, the shooting that happened in a Walmart, over masks? There's so many different small situations. What about, the interaction between the car who cut off the other car and the person followed him? Those were simple interactions that went south. This is also an interaction that went south. But the police were never informed. And this is what this video is about, to say, don't handle those situations, no matter how simple it is. If you don't know this person, or sometimes even if you do know the person, if you feel like, that this is not a simple conversation. Call the police. Get away from that situation. And in this story, they were never contacted, so nothing could have ever been done. And another thing I want to point out, when the girl was assaulted on the night before, had that family gone to the police would have confiscated her guns. They would have confiscated them. So, think about this when you're dealing with someone, because we're living in a day and age where we don't know who's got illegally carrying a gun. So you can say something like, yeah, whatever. Those two words, whatever, and everything goes awry. But let's get back to the story. So the police were never called. And again, we raise our kids to be strong and to stand up. But again, we live in a different world. It's not the same world that we grew up in, because it's more and more people. And it's sad part about this is a lot of those people don't have criminal records. So we can't say these are they're gang members, or they've been bad all their lives. Nah, these are people who were hardworking, everyday people working, and then for whatever reason, boom, snap. We can understand it, because a lot of people are losing stuff that they've worked for. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world, and we don't know what's going on with the next person. So I say, if someone has a disagreement with me, okay, bye. I heard you, bye. And sometimes not even that. Just walk away. Hey, you ain't gonna hear what I got. I'm not even turning around to respond to that. Gone, see you. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna do something, do it behind my back. Outside of that, say whatever you want. If you're in my face and you're pulling something out, that's a different story. But I'm not gonna amp or pick you up or lift you up to encourage you to carry out whatever cause it is. Because people who have that type of mindset, that they fly off the handle, and they're in possession of a gun, any little thing can trigger them. It's an unstable person, very, very unstable. So we want to keep our children, we want to make our children smart, and we ourselves want to be smart, especially now, the way things are going now, with all the different protests and all the different people. People are stealing signs from people's yard. People are, they're arguing with people over their political stance, and it's just so sad. It's almost like people walking around just to pick a fight, just to pick an argument. We know that when these voting booths open up, we know that these things are going to happen. So all I say to the people that are out there, let your vote speak. If there's a people over there and they're protesting, let them protest. If there's people over there saying, whatever they're saying to you, you're a Democrat or you're a Republican or whatever, blinders on. I think that's something that was in the Bible, that I think one of the Apostle Paul had said it, that you have to walk with blinders on, because, the world itself, to block out the things of the world itself. Well, that's that same advice now. Well, he advised you back then is what this is advising you right now. Walk with those blinders on, because once you make your vote, you get in your car, you go home, you're in the safety of your house, and the president is determined. Now, if you act out, you may not even make it to that line. Now, the police are called, you can't go back and vote. So who really wins? I'm thinking that maybe it might be the people who try to get you to act out so that they can, stop you from voting. That's one less vote. So, beware of the different things that are coming, and keep those blinders on. Okay, so how this story applies to us today, it applies to us because any situation, it can be, I just grabbed that loaf of bread right there. You took that out of my carriage, and that's the last loaf of bread. And that person's like, no. And then before you know it, it's like, where did this come from? It's just spiraled out of control. So I made a video about that before. Never minimize situations. Never minimize situations in your life. Never minimize situations when it comes to your family. If you find yourself in something that's questionable, no matter how simple it is, get on that phone and call the police. Get away from that situation, call the police. So that's number one. Never minimize any kind of confrontation. We live in a different world. And then the positive things that we can say by doing this, back in my day, if someone did that, they say, oh, that person is considered a punk, or weak. And believe me, I had that. I carried that philosophy going through life too. But through the years, you come to an awakening, and when you come to an awakening, your subconscious lets you know just how wrong those motives were, because real strength is silent strength, and it's not a person who talks back and forth. So we know that what we can walk away with in a positive way is we have to think there's nothing more valuable than your life. There's nothing more valuable than your life. There's nothing more valuable than your well-being, and nothing more valuable than you being alive to be there for your children. And speaking of value, when it doesn't matter if you're in the right or you're in the wrong. I'll give you a good scenario with this. Somebody comes in, they break into your house. Now, you come home. Now, if you're the wife and you're the husband, you come in together. So the husband takes off after the guy. Now, the husband catches the guy, but there's a struggle that ensues, that where the person who went into the home is hurt. Now, even though this person gets arrested, even though this person will go to jail, do you know that a lawyer will take on that case for free and sue you? If you own a home, you're getting sued. You own a vehicle, your car insurance, you're getting sued. Because of, the law says that you have to call the police, regardless if you're in that mix. The law here, we're on the East Coast where I am, that's the law here. I know places like Florida, places like Florida where you can just shoot people and then make up a story. I thought I was going to be robbed. We've heard that before. But then again, it ties in again with people who have permits to carry these weapons, and they want to use them. And it's a sad ordeal that we live in a world in that situation. But, in this situation, the girl knew that that's what she was going to do had things gotten out of hand, because that's the first thing that she ran for was that gun. Instead of running for the phone to say, hey, these girls just jumped me on my job. The job would have backed her up. But she had other intentions, and she carried those intentions out. So, remember that there's a lawsuit that can be filed against you, even if you're in the right. And, number two, which is positive, is that, cop calling was something that was frowned upon, when I was growing up. But, even though we're in relations with police right now where, it's divided, where we really don't want to have interaction, because, it's a truthful fact that, there's a high volume of racism within police departments. And it's black on black. Black cops don't like black people either. Spanish cops don't like Spanish people either. These are learned behaviors. But we have to unlearn all these things, because we have to deal with the cops that are good cops. Because, if we don't start dealing with them and calling them in, calling them on what it is that they say that we should do in situations, because right now they're under a microscope. So, when we call and we file our complaints to say, hey, look, this is a situation, they can't look at you and say, hey, I had to pause. My battery went dead. To get back to interaction with the police and becoming more involved, and you know, it doesn't mean that we have to, go all out, but we should call them. We can't go through life not calling, the police when things happen like this. Um, and I want to shorten it because I think I covered everything for everyone as far as, never minimize situations. So all these different things that I speak of, you can find these topics on my page. Um, and the I want us to, send our prayers out to the mother, and our prayers go out to the daughters, 20 between 20 and 23 years old. That was young. um, Also, to Patricia and to Reggie, condolences for your loss. There's so many people across the world. The Ambrose family. Um, you know, so many people that we send our condolences out all over the world. And again, before I leave, um, thank you to the group that's in Pakistan that have been watching, that have been following. Thank you from all of us. You're important, and we're all in this together. Um, with that, I would like everyone to have a enjoy the rest of the day. Take what we can from this, and lastly, you know never hopefully we never get to what this story is about, a mother's greatest regret. Because the greatest regret that she experienced was something that she thought was going to be simple, and something that was going to be okay, and it was something that went completely away from that, something that can't be undone. So that's a regret for any parent to go through. So with that, everyone have an awesome evening. Thank you very much, and we'll be right back tomorrow with some more topics and some more stories based on true events in life. Because we're here to learn, and we're not gonna sugarcoat things. We want to reshape and rethink, and reformulate how we what how we want to interact with the world around us. But we want to do it in a more positive way, instead of the ways that we've been doing it. Some of us we're always doing a good job, but we can always improve, right? So we can always improve in that. So that's what we want to do. We want to improve upon the already good quality of life that we have, and make ourselves, better people for the people around us. And with that, everyone, peace and blessings.